Hello, accelerators. It's Diane Spadola, and today is the 8th of June. I can't believe we're already at the 8th of June. It's a little freaky about how fast the time is going by, especially since things are opening up around the world. Our governor last week dropped all the restrictions in my state of Ohio. And that basically means that baseball games, restaurants, schools, churches are all at full capacity. Recommendation is to wear a mask if you are not vaccinated, but if you are fully vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask. As a result, it seems like the world is like wide open to me specifically. Now, obviously, to other people in Ohio, they may evaluate that differently, but I am vaccinated and I can't wait to get back out there. So I've been to the pool and I've been to the beach and I've been out to dinner with friends. I've had friends over to my house. We had our first meeting of book club. All of these things are happening because of the fact that we've taken precautions to protect ourselves and others. But today, what I want to do is this has actually brought up another subject, which I don't spend a lot of time either thinking or talking about, and that is the psychology of money. So what's happened as the world starts to open up, at least specifically for me, is I start to think about how I want to spend my money, okay? I don't have any more money because I'm still suffering the financial downturn of my personal economy, as I'm sure many of you are, because of the pandemic. I haven't gotten a huge windfall. I haven't built my business back up to the pre-COVID situation. And as a result, I still need to be really careful about my spending, because there's really only two ways that you can increase the profit, all right? And we'll define profit as savings, all right? Two ways. You can increase your income, which is difficult to do in a pandemic unless you pivot your business to something really successful, or you reduce your expenses. I actually did both, okay? I pivoted my business to coaching from what it had been, which was face painting and artistic entertaining. And I also reduced my expenses dramatically. No more supplies, no more manicures, no more pedicures, no more shopping. I even kind of changed my grocery habits in order to reduce the outlay on a week-to-week, month-to-month basis. I recently finished a book called The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, Housel, and I learned quite a few things. And I learned that the first thing that one needs to establish when you're thinking about money and maybe setting a plan for your future is you really kind of have to analyze your beliefs about money. So I'm going to share with you the things that I learned in the hopes that it would be helpful to you as we go back to some of the pre-pandemic spending habits, or not. So first and foremost, I needed to think about what, in a general sense, what money is for, from my perspective, and what it's not for, okay? Obviously, money can be used to purchase social engagements, buy better food, donate to the charities of your choice, enhance your work life experience. It can also, it shouldn't be perceived as something that is buying your happiness or buying more productivity just because you're getting bells and whistles to add to your home office, okay? I need to think seriously about my value and the value that my service, coaching, marketing challenged entrepreneurs, so that they can get more clients through relationship marketing habits that are easy and simple and fun. So that's my service. I need to think about the value of that service to my ideal client. Not necessarily to me, but how they perceive the value of that service. And in most cases, when you really get into the weeds and start to look at the value of what it is that you're providing, the value is going to be greater than the price that you've already put on it. And I've talked about this in the past. We have a tendency to, especially as entrepreneurs, to reduce the value of whatever impact that we're making on the world. So all I encourage you to do is think about value, think about the services you're providing and the way you make people feel when you're solving their problems for them. And in most cases, it means that you are worthy of a price increase. Remember, you can double your prices and lose half your clients and still make the same amount of money with a whole lot less work and aggravation. Then, specifically for me, I had to think about my beliefs about longevity. How long do you think I'm going to live? How long do I want to work? How long do I want to work really hard? How long do I really want to hustle to get gigs, get clients, make an impact in the world, put my stuff out there? How long do I want that to be either a full-time job or a part-time job? All right? Because that has to do with the income side of the equation. If I only want to work full-time for another couple of years, that's going to change the balance of what happens afterwards. In my situation, I'm actually eligible to get government assistance now in terms of money I've paid into the Social Security system. I need to evaluate whether taking that money now, before my official retirement age, balances out the sort of hard work and effort that is a result of drastically reduced income in the pandemic. So that notion about whether to take Social Security, whether to take a retirement pension, whether to get lower money, smaller money on a monthly basis, is that something that you could utilize now? Would that put you in a better situation now? And if you are of the age that you could take Social Security early, there are break-even programs that allow you to make a determination about whether taking less money now is to your benefit or whether it's to your benefit to hold off and get a larger Social Security payout in the future. Those are the things that I'm trying to figure out, and I encourage you to do the same. Then I had to think about beliefs about my time and how I want to spend it. This was actually the easiest part of the process for me because I know how I want to spend my time, especially when the sun is shining and the world is opening up and the weather is gorgeous and I like being outdoors. I like playing outside, if that's what you want to call it. I love socializing on a patio. I love sitting in the sun. I love all of those things about outdoor, summertime, nice weather. So I know that sitting behind a desk in my office is not how I want to spend my summertime hours. So I need to think about my time and how I want to spend it. Then, lastly, I need to think about my own personal risk aversion and concerns about uncertainty, okay? How close do I want to run down my savings until I'm at an urgent or crucial situation? How risky do I want to be in terms of investing? How paranoid am I that I'm either unlucky or that the stock market's going to tank or that something really major can happen, car accident, injury, worldwide pandemic. How likely is that going to happen in my near term or far lengther, longer horizon, and how do I position where that is so that I can make sure that I have somewhat of a nest egg to take care of that, okay? Now, you may have a financial planner that helps you with those decisions. I could certainly get a financial planner that helps me with those decisions. But I like thinking about the big buckets and the big rocks before I actually ask somebody to do the detail work about how to invest or if to invest or over what timeline. One of the things that I've learned is that your investing capability, whether you're using an advisor or not, gets dramatically better when you lengthen your timeline, all right? So if you're dealing with short time frames, this year, next year, 6 months, you're going to find that your capabilities of failing or succeeding are going to be a lot more intense than if you lengthen your timeline to multiple years or decades, all right? It's much more likely that your investments and your savings are going to have a more successful growth trend the longer period of time you stretch it out. Okay? Then I had to think about what it is that I need. What do I want? What are the things that I consider luxury and what are the things I consider necessity? One of the questions I had to ask myself, and I would encourage you as an entrepreneur to do the same, is can money give you control over your time? All right? Which means, can you buy time from having another person with a higher skill set take care of the things that you don't know how to do? Can the help of an assistant or an intern or, I don't know, maybe an apprentice, can that person's extra set of hands enable you to focus on more strategic thinking for your entrepreneurial endeavors or free you up to do more of the things that you really like to do? Some of the keys that I encourage you to take to heart are that your goals and your desires are going to change over time. You're going to want different things in 5 years than you want now. I want completely different things than I wanted 20 years ago. All right? I'm happier with less. 20 years ago, all I wanted to do was get to the top of the corporate mountain. You know, I perceived that I would be riding in a limo, taking a corporate helicopter back and forth to work. I'd have makeup people and stylists that would help me with my on-camera presence or before a big speaking engagement. One of the things that I learned is that stuff's not all that great, all right? What I actually appreciate is time with my family, time with my friends, a chance to enjoy nature, and those things don't cost nearly as much. So sitting on that big, huge pile of money did not deliver to me the same heartfelt feelings as making an impact on the world, enjoying time with nature, getting out into the sun, laughing, okay? Another key is you really want to think about how you are influenced by people that are playing a different game than you are, all right? When I worked in corporate, a lot of day-to-day tasks were about either competing with, getting ahead of, or proving your worth compared to the other people in the organization. As an entrepreneur, you have the tendency to do kind of the same thing. You're going to look over there and see that she's more successful. You're going to look over there and see that that person had a big killing or landed a major client or got a renewing contract that lasts for a year or two. That person was able to pivot in the pandemic to another money-making endeavor. You were not. When you think about the successes of the people around you and you feel jealous or bitter or concerned that you're not good enough, you need to really consider what were those people's goals How do they think about money? What are their beliefs? All right. If they're playing a different game than you are, they're going to manage their situation completely different. They're going to spend differently than you. They're going to save differently than you. And they're probably going to talk about what they're doing differently than you. So don't judge yourself by the others unless you know that they're in it, the entrepreneurial journey, for the exact same thing that you are. And in most cases, they're not. Now, where did I get this information? Where did I get all this thinking and beliefs about money? I told you that I read a book called The Psychology of Money. It's by a guy by the name of Morgan Housel. All right. In addition, there are some other books that you can read if you're interested in thinking about money and your personal beliefs. One of the things that I love is this book, Atomic Habits by James Clear, has a specific concern related to finance, where he says, and I quote, "Saving money is often associated with sacrifice. However, you can associate it with freedom rather than limitation if you realize one simple truth. Living below your current means increases your future means. The money that you save this month increases your purchasing power next month." Then, in terms of growing your business and making more money, I found this. I've read this book probably 4 or 5 times over the course of the last 20 years. Book Yourself Solid by Michael Port. And there's also a workbook if you're one of those people that likes to do exercises along with your reading. Then the other 3 recommendations I have is I Will Teach You to Be Rich. Very famous book, New York Times bestseller for several years. You Are a Badass About Making Money from Jen Sincero. And for those of you that are interested in a little bit more of the metaphysical type stuff, Money and the Law of Attraction. So those are my suggestions for you to gain traction with money this week. Thanks for watching. Oh, about the announcements. Today is Taco Tuesday. That's the day that we publish our resources in the Facebook group, Accelerate Your Success. If you are not currently a member of the Facebook group, here's how you can become a member. Just go to this link. And then if you want to get the resource guide that shares the tools and apps and software programs and links and advisors and anything else that will create opportunities for you and your small business, you can get that in the files section of the AYS Facebook group. I've been recently talking about a workshop that is going to be taught by Jerry Potter on June 15th. Jerry Potter is a social media expert. He's a friend, he's a mentor, and he believes that you can manage your business, manage your social media plan without spending all day, every day on social media. His program is called 5-Minute Social Media, and he's doing a workshop. And if you copy this link, it's a bit.ly link, optimize your profile, you can sign up to take his workshop or his webinar. And it's only $17 today. You missed the early bird pricing, I'm sorry, but I'll be on that workshop with you. And Jerry's advice is what I use to optimize my pages and profiles when I switch my business to coaching. You can sign up for my weekly newsletter here. It's called Weekly Traction Tips. It allows you to get unstuck and move forward in your business. And then last but not least, I would love to hear from you and connect with you in any way, shape, or form. So scrolling across the bottom is my Instagram handle at Diane Accelerates and my LinkedIn link. For right now, I'm going to say goodbye. I will see you in the Facebook group, Accelerate Your Success. You can find us under groups on Facebook. Have a really good week. Get outside and enjoy the sunshine. And try not to worry quite so much. about money.